Praise Yahuwah, brothers and sisters. Praise the Most High, the King of Kings, Master of all masters, perfect designer and creator. He is the one that's truly worthy of any praise or honor or esteem. And we revere him and we adore him and we love him and we want to serve him and please him. We want to be among those that he accounts worthy to escape the things that are coming. And that escape may not be that we won't see or hear any of the things, but that we won't be affected to the point that we will throw away our eternity because we jump ship. And then again, it could mean that we won't experience anything. Even though I believe that verse is talking about escaping his wrath, not the tribulation. Because the only ones that are going to experience his wrath are those who are not written in the Lamb's Book of Life, are those who have revolted against his laws and his ways and refused to accept him as the Almighty. So today, I don't think I'll be before you long. Oh, we'll see how it goes. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on today. If we listen to any bit of news, we know that there is huge chaos going on. And the things that are happening is for the purpose of setting people up to take the mark. And so because many wandered and followed after something other than truth and integrity, and they allowed their ears to be tickled, we are where we're at. And they have no clue what is coming. Praise Yah, we are on the winning side, and we have ears to hear what the Master is speaking. Now, this is their world, and we don't get caught up in all of that they do. And because we are in Yah's kingdom, in his camp, we know these things must come to pass. And we don't have to be in the dark. We can cling to him, look to him, lean on him, and trust in him. And he can tell us, like he told Yosef, when to get up and move Mary and Yahushua when danger was coming. He told them when to move. He told Yosef when to get up and move. And we can be the same way. When we're following closely with him, we can be as the children of Yashrael in the wilderness. They did not move until the cloud moved, until that pillar of fire moved. And that's where we want to be. We want to have that type of relationship with him. But these people who are caught up in the world, they love the world. They want to measure up to what the world says is right, fashionable, trending. And so they've been swept up in the big waves of the lies and deception. They have no clue what is coming. And I'll say it again, praise Yahuwah, that we are on the winning side and that we have ears to hear what the Master is speaking. The astronomical expected numbers of layoffs that are coming, while simultaneously shutting down programs that were established especially to help people in dire need, will push people to do desperate things in order to survive. You know, there was a time that they lost their jobs. They could say, well, they could rely on public assistance for a while till they get on their feet. But that's not going to be so, because that assistance is not going to be in place. Most people will be forced to take the mark because their trust is not in Yahuah. In Jeremiah, Yahoo says in chapter 17, curses the man whose trust is in man and not in Yahuah. I'm not sure what verse, but it's in chapter 17. Fear is a force that robs us of the ability to rationalize. When fear is upon us, we can't rationalize, we can't think, we can't judge correctly. Fear births panic, and that's what robs us of cognitive ability. Fear can cause people to only think of self-preservation, thus turning people, including family members, into the authorities if need be, and even taking part in whatever program instituted to supply a piece of bread, shelter, etc., whatever it is. These initiatives are programmed to prepare people to agree to whatever is offered to relieve them their distress. These are the programs that are going to be put in place. And what is it? To sign up with the enemy. That is why we are told that in our patience we possess our souls. We're going to have to know how to wait on Yahuah. We can't give in to everything our flesh wants. And that's why right now we need to be practicing. And I have some good days and I have some days that are not as good. But getting stronger. That is why those who endure to the end will be saved, because they're practicing now. This generation of instant gratification seekers will need immediate solutions. They're going to run to whatever's easy. But this is why we are working on not giving our flesh everything it wants. I've said in an audio or two, like, if our flesh is like, oh, I really could go for a juicy hamburger, let's say. I don't know, something. Whatever it is that you really like. Don't always give in to it. Start exercising endurance. We are learning to deny the flesh everything it wants. People are going to do what it takes to survive. They have not exercised any type of control. Everything is indulgence. I don't have the money, I'll charge it. And whatever else they do. So I would warn for us to start preparing for relationships to change, so that we're not taken by surprise when they do happen. We already know the ones who are in our midst who honor and revere Yahuah. We already know the ones who are always in rebellion, don't want to hear about it, think we're too whatever. So keep our eyes open. Let's not be surprised. Everything's already been told to us. A few times Yahushua said, I have told you beforehand. But things are falling into place for people to sign up for the enemy's regime, for his program. And those people, their names are not even written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Don't be surprised. As I've said before, we need to stop trying to make people be what they're not. We work at trying to see the good in people because of that false teaching on love your enemy, forgive those who persecute you, and all those kind of things. The teaching was in error. It didn't teach us the right way. And so we start taking on the burden of trying to make things right with people when they're already showing us what they're about. Why don't we accept it instead of trying to find the good in people? If they're not presenting the good, why are we seeking to find the good? And then feeling bad when we see the truth and won't accept it. Things are getting ready to change, and we cannot be letting people in that are not one with Yah. So prepare for relationships to change. When we really shouldn't be surprised if we would take people at face value, we would see them where they're at anyways. There's no connection to blood because we're family. We can't do that. In his own 13, verse 3, it reads, "And I saw one of his heads as if we were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshiped the dragon." They worshiped the dragon. So they adored the dragon. They reverenced the dragon. They honored the dragon who gave power to the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast?" Now remember, the dragon is mentioned in chapter 12. He's the one that's coming after the commandment keepers, the remnant, the seed of the woman. So the dragon gave his power to the beast. And the people are saying, "Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him?" And there was given to him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given to him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahuah, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle. And that's happening now in a lot of TV shows and people talking, that's in the limelight. They say blasphemous things now. So that's nothing new. It's just going to be increased. So he's going to open his mouth in blasphemy against Yahuah, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in the Shamayim. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. They're going to adore him. They're going to honor him. They're going to reverence him. Whose names are written in the book, are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. So those people who are doing that, their names weren't written in the Lamb's book of life. Why? Because our Father knows all things. He already knew who would and would not. His own 17, verse 8, the beast that we saw previously in earlier in his own 13, he was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder. They're going to wonder. And these people have names that were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And we're here today. Many of today's people are easily fascinated, easily hyped, and they wonder and they wander. Or I guess the more correct term would be they follow after all types of things and people. And I've told you that before too in some of the audios. That word follow, be mindful about that. Really consider what you're saying when you say, "I follow somebody." So they follow after all types of things and people. Reality shows and social media are popular and have mesmerized people into a lulled state of mind, to the degree that many are clueless and or even incapable of distinguishing between facts and fiction. And so here we are today. Because of that, they like theatrics, they like the hoopla, they like all the, they're just drawn to deceit. And that's one of the signs of this day. People are going to be deceiving and being deceived. This current drastic change that we are seeing that has attacked what we've known as the norm is causing emotional, mental, and financial earthquakes that in a few weeks or months will be tsunamis when more and more are faced with employment termination and how that will affect all areas of their lives. Earthquakes are mentioned many times as a sign of the last day. And I was among those who thought it was only talking of land-related earthquakes. But now I see it as people being lands are being shook. And we are lands. There's an audio on this on We Win that talks about Yah healing our land. We are land. So let us, brothers and sisters, work in preparing to stand firm in Yahuwah, for the domino effect that will thrust us into the worst times ever on earth is soon upon us. We should not think we stand lest we fall. It is written. We must remember our security is in Yahuwah, not in our flesh, not in our mindset, not in what we know, but it has to only be in Him. Tahalim 33 reads that there is no king saved by the multitude of a host. So it doesn't matter how many armies he has. He's not saved by that. If Yahuwah is not there, if Yahuwah is not his security, if Yahuwah is not his provision, his protection. Neither is a mighty man delivered by much strength. Doesn't matter how strong we are in our physical strength. I have sons that are very strong in their bodies because they go to the gym and they lift weights. But that's not what's going to save them, or in no other person who feels that they're strong. Neither is a horse a safety in itself. It's a vain thing when it comes to safety. And they're very powerful. Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. So even though horses are strong and they can pull stuff, they're strong. They can't deliver by their great strength if Yahuwah is not in it. Behold, the eye of Yahuwah is upon them that fear and reverence, adore and honor him, upon them that hope in his loving kindness, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our souls wait for Yahuwah. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his Kodesh name. Let your mercy, O Yahuwah, be upon us. Let your kindness, your loving kindness be upon us. According as we have hoped in you. I know you've heard me say it before that we're going to receive by the measure in which we hope. Tahalim 91, it reads that 100 will fall at our side and 1,000 shall fall at our side and 10,000 at our right hand. 1,000 at our side and 10,000 at our right hand. But whatever it is, whatever the calamity is that's causing them to fall, it won't come near us. Now, this could be spiritual deaths as well as physical deaths. We're going to see people that we thought were going to stand fall. It may not be us. First of all, may it not be none of us. That we all will endure to the end. But some will fall. Right there, right next to us. And we cannot be moved by it. We better keep our eyes on Yahuwah. Even if we're crying, shaking. Keep our eyes stayed on him. Remember to call him, tell him he's our strength. Hold on to him. But most people have built their spiritual houses on sand. They refuse to build their house on the rock. They built it on sand. Pretty stuff, but it was shallow. Pretty stuff, but it wasn't sturdy. Pretty stuff. Current buys. Trending things. But they were not of solid rock. Brothers and sisters, we can be grateful that Yahuwah is our builder. He has prepared us to make our call and election sure. His name is the high tower that the righteous can run into and be safe. So let's stay encouraged and stay in the state of courage. Let's be courageous, as Yahuwah has told us many times. Even if we just read Joshua 1, he's told us to be courageous. He said, I think it's that one. He says, have I not said to be courageous? Oh my. I just wanted to remind you that we win and yawn no matter what we're seeing, what's going on. Oh my. It looks as though they're trying to rush this time into place because after that date that established the new administration, it was bam, bam, bam. It was almost like he had them already signed and they're pushing them too fast. It wasn't gradual. It wasn't even trying to deceive, like, okay, and this throw it up. He just came out like a 6-shooter. So that in itself, to me, is concerning that they're pushing it so fast. So I don't even know how much time we have because they're going too fast with this. So we must work at trusting and putting ourselves in a place that we are in the secret place of the Most High, abiding under the shadow of the Almighty, calling him our refuge, our fortress, the one in whom we trust. But these things are being done to push people in a place that they will take the mark. No jobs, gonna lose especially the ones who had good paying jobs and probably just buying things up. And some people had just got hired and probably thought, oh my goodness, everything's falling into place for me now, never knowing. Just like a true earthquake or tsunami, nobody knows when those things are coming to bring total destruction like that. They can get warnings, but nobody knows to what degree of damage it's going to do. They had no idea. They had no idea. Can you imagine the people who now may possibly lose their homes and their vehicles? This is going to be a domino effect. And some people are going to be so desperate. It's like during the, what they call that, the Great Depression, people were falling out of windows to their death. We need to be expecting the worst. This is opening the door to that 42 months of the worst time that has ever been on the earth, yea, even since there was time. But we will be encouraged, and we will know who it is that we're with and who he is, because as it says, I'm going to read it again, Tehillim 33, there is no king that is saved by the multitude of an army. There is no mighty man that is delivered by his strength. And horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Behold, the eye of Yahuwah is upon them that fear, reverence, adore, and honor him. They esteem him. Upon them that hope in his loving kindness, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. So our soul waits for Yahuwah. He it is that is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his Kodash name. Let your kindness, O Yahuwah, be upon us, according as we hope in you. Keep us, Father, under the cleft of your wings. Grant unto us that mind to serve you and keep your commandments. So that we be among the elect, that remnant that won't be deceived. Raise us up to be those warriors that you talk about in the scriptures. How we will be strong and do exploit because we know you and you know us. Let fear have no place in our hearts. Cause our hearts to be firm in belief in you and in the knowledge of who you are and in your power and in your might and in your spoken word for it to be, and it will be. Even as you said, let there be light, and it was. Let there be a division in the firmament and everything else you spoke in creation, and it was. Speak in our lives. Strengthen us. Hold us up so that we can go forth strong in your name and for your kingdom. We thank you, Father. We thank you, Abba Yah. We thank you, Father. We are strong in you and we are encouraged. And we lean on you and we trust in you. And we thank you for having your eyes upon us and your ears open to our cries. Even as you said you heard the cries of the children of Yashrael who were in Goshen, you even hear our cries. You can turn things around, and you do turn things around, for we know that all things work together for those who love you, for those who are called according to your purpose. We thank you that nothing shall separate us from your love for us. Help us to walk up worthy before you. Walk up rightly. Walk up worthy. Of your attention and your willingness to save us. Our house is built upon the rock and not the sand. And our names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And we serve no other but you until the end. All praises be to the Most High, brothers and sisters. All praises be to the one and only true, living, self-existent, powerful, invincible, victorious, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient one. We're on the winning side. He's given messengers charge over us to keep us in all our ways, lest we dash our foot against a stone. And he's given us power to tread over lions and adders. Yah, may you put your mark in our forehead, that we be marked for you. Until next time, brothers and sisters, let's not be caught up in the whirlwind of what's going on. We see it, and it don't touch us. Like the children of Yashrael was in Goshen, and they knew what was going on over there in Mizraim, but it wasn't touching them. And so it is for us. So even though we know what's going on, and it kind of shakes us up a little bit, we're not going to be moved. Tahalim 121 says, like Mount Zion, I think it is, will not be moved, neither shall us, his taught ones, his Set apart ones. I need to find that because I want to quote that correctly. Because it's a word that encourages. And we want to hear words from our Father that encourages us, gives us strength to run on, right? Tahalim 125. Well, I'm getting there. Those who trust in Yahuwah are like Mount Zion. It is not shaken, or some translations, it is not moved, easily moved. It remains forever. So those who trust in Yahuwah are not shaken and remain forever, like Mount Zion. As the mountains surround Yerushalayim, so Yahuwah surrounds his people now and forever. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, unless the righteous stretch forth their hands to unrighteousness. We better not be stretching our hands unto unrighteousness. We do, we're losing that protection. We're losing that covering. Do good, O Yahuwah, to those who are good and to those who are upright in their hearts. But those who turn aside to their crooked ways, Yahuwah shall lead them away with the workers of wickedness. Salam be upon the children of Yashrael. So, those who trust in Yahuwah are like Mount Zion. It is not shaken, it remains forever. As the mountains surround Yerushalayim, so Yahuwah surrounds his people now and forever. Talk to you next time, brothers and sisters. Praise Yah, praise Yah, and be not overwhelmed. When you start getting that way, that's a spirit that's lurking and trying to get you there. We have to fight. Well, if we can't say anything else, but I trust you, Yahuwah. I thank you for deliverance, Yahuwah. You are my Alua. You are strong and you're mighty. You are the Almighty. You are invincible, and I rest in you. And I resist this spirit that's trying to get me to be overwhelmed and concerned about what's going on in the world. For I'm in the world, but I'm not of it. I'm protected. I am protected. And that's what we have to do. We have to resist it because it does come upon all of us. All of us. You know, the enemy tells me, oh, you're doing all this trying to get people ready. And tries to put fear on me. And I just have to do like I'm telling you, have to resist it. Have to resist it. We have to resist it because the sheep know the voice of the good shepherd, and another they won't follow. So we ain't following lies, okay? And the weak are supposed to say they're strong. That's what it says, I think, in Nehemiah. The weak say they are strong. Well, wherever it's written, but I think it's Nehemiah. And we're strong because we're strong in him. And we can say, I win. I win in Yahuwah. Doesn't matter what comes or goes. There's no way I can lose because I'm with the Most High. It's him who is my strength. It's he who fights my battles. It's he who protects me from wickedness and devices meant to bring me harm. But they can't prosper. That's how we have to talk. We cannot take thought of anything evil and speak it. We can't. Because we have what we say. That's what one verse says. We have what we say. Talk to you next time, brothers and sisters. Let's get that warrior mentality. Let's fight. Because since the time of John the Baptist, John the Immerser, until now the kingdom of Shamayim has suffered violence, and the violence taken by force. And I have a word that's coming on that. Snatch it. Snatch it back. The thief comes to take, to steal, kill, and destroy. And we are commissioned to take it back, to not allow him to have it. He don't want it for no other reason but just to be still and to cause distress in our lives. He has so much that he just takes, don't do nothing with it. It's just a thrill. He's a kleptomaniac, I guess we could call him. He just takes so he can cause distress. Let's keep looking to Yahuwah. Let's keep building that house on the rock. How do we do that? Getting in that word, trusting in him, looking to him, asking him to help us to stand, asking him to be our help. Dawood said in one scripture, he said, before he prevents the dawn from coming because he's asking for help. So we need to ask for help every day because truly we need help. We're in a foreign land. This place is not our home. And the inhabitants of this place don't like us at all. And they are out to destroy us, put out our light. So we need help. Stay encouraged, brothers and sisters. We got every reason to be encouraged because we're with the Most High. Talk to you soon. Daily say, I win in Yah. I win in Yah. I win. I win. Some people like to say I won. And I used to try to do that. But it just wouldn't fit for me. I'm not saying anyone else, but for me. Because I'm like, yeah, I know that the victory is mine. But the victory is mine if I keep walking this way. If I stop walking this way of believing and knowing that I have victory, I don't currently have the victory. So I try to say I win. I want it present. I win. I win, I win, I win. Because every day there's something to overcome. Every day. In my life, anyways, there's things to be overcoming every day. Every day. Until next time. Until next time. Hopefully it'll be soon. All praises be to the Most High.